Never fear, because the Biden administration is here and they are taking bold, decisive action to save us from ourselves. Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. That's right, you heard right. The Biden administration has decided that they're going to save us from ourselves. So there is going to be a ban on menthol flavored cigarettes and all flavored cigars. And I hear this and I stop and think, did you forget about Eric Garner? Did you forget about any number of individuals who very recently have had encounters with police and have lost their lives due to these encounters? Because here's what they say. They're saying, oh, we're going to put this ban on, but don't worry, everything's going to be fine. It's just a ban against, it just applies to manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers, distributors. Individuals can still possess. And what's to stop the police from saying, hey, I think you're selling menthols? Not that you're possessing menthols. What's to stop police from saying, I think you have possessed menthols, you're selling menthols, and you're doing outside of the laws of the United States, and it's not being properly taxed? And people will say, oh, you're just exaggerating, you're just making stuff up, you're looking for something to complain about. And of course I'm not. Because as I said, do you remember Eric Garner? Eric Garner was murdered by police at the behest of stupid legislators. Stupid legislators who said, hey, not only are we going to put this incredibly high tax on cigarettes, we're going to make sure that cops are enforcing our robbery operation, our extortion operation, and cracking down on anybody that's not giving us our cut of the procedure. And Eric Garner died. And the legislators, oh, it's horrible. Never mind that they are responsible. The executive, like Bill de Blasio, who later then decided, guess what? I'm upping the sin tax even higher. But then he would sit there, he will stand there and do photo ops with the Garner family as if he wasn't responsible for Eric Garner's death. And now we have Joe Biden doing something even stupider. But if people keep voting for these politicians, if people refuse to stand up and say, hey, mind your business, get your laws off of our bodies. Point blank. Because remember, what is the mantra regarding abortion? My body, my choice. Cigarettes. Because they're not saying they're getting rid of this because I'm trying to think, is there any other alternative explanation? No, there is no other alternative explanation, and they're not trying to come up with one. They're saying, we're doing this for your health. We're doing this for your safety. We're doing this to protect you from making decisions for yourself. Are we not generous gods? And I knew it. But if you go back to my video where I talk about the is Joe Biden good, for the sake of argument, for the sake of not arguing, I said, hey, let's give him the benefit of the doubt because he's saying things differently than what 40 years of horrible policy has shown him to be. But 40 years of horrible policy versus 6 to 9 months of changing up. Because remember, he changed up 6 to 9 months after the unrest began. After everything is the powder keg got sparked, the match lit the powder keg. Then he started switching up and talking about criminal justice reform and backing up and doing things differently. But 40 plus years of horrible criminal justice policy, of leading a war on drugs, a failed war on drugs, being a champion of mass incarceration. And what did you expect? Statist going to do what statist does. Authoritarian's going to do what authoritarians do. And this is what he does. He believes that it is his right to make decisions on what you can or cannot put into your body. That's who Joe Biden is and always has been. He thinks he can use the power of the state and its thugs, its enforcers, to control what people do and do not put in their bodies. Meanwhile, his son was not being controlled. His son was cool to put whatever he wanted to his body. He didn't like it, but he didn't crack any skulls. His son's skull, plenty of other skulls got cracked. His son's skull remained intact. His son was smoking. His son wasn't just smoking crack. His son was smoking. What did he say? He was smoking soap or something like that. Like it's ridiculous. But this is the dude that wants to control all of our lives. But when it comes to his son, his family, his people, oh no, they can do what they want. I love my son. Okay, you love your son. Show some tough love, right? Because like you have no problem throwing people in prison, locking people up, taking away their lives, destroying communities. No problem. You're the architect of mass incarceration, and you destroyed lives. And now you want to up it again. And instead of going in the other direction of actually legalizing stuff, yeah, he's firing people in his administration who have admitted to smoking marijuana in the past. Wow. This is the scumbag. But some of y'all actually believe the nonsense. Some of y'all actually believe the bull that was coming out of his mouth as if he really changed. Oh, no, it's a different day. He apologized for that. No, he didn't. If you watch his apologies, they weren't even apologies. Yeah, I'm really sorry that people went to jail, but I didn't send them. It was the states, and plus the Congressional Black Caucus and black leaders, they said they wanted this done. So don't look at me, look at them. Threw them right under the bus. They belong under the bus, but he threw them right under the bus. He needs to be under the bus too, but he threw them right under the bus in a heartbeat. And that gets me mad. By the way, if you hate the war on drugs, if you're watching this, if you realize that it's been a complete failure, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. If you like the war on drugs, okay, then give me the thumbs down and tell me why you think you have the right to tell other people what they can and cannot do with their bodies. Make sure to put that in there if you give me a thumbs down. But it's ridiculous. It shows this mindset of it's like these people think they're gods because they don't just they're not just enforcing things that are happening to people that people don't want. Like they can actually step in between your conscious willing choices and say no. We're going to run your life better than you can. We can run your life better than you can. That's what they're saying. These people are not good people. Just think about the arrogance, the sheer, what kind of megalomania do you have to possess to think you have the right, the authority to tell somebody what they can and cannot do with their body? And it's not going to stop with menthol cigarettes. Like it didn't stop with crack. It didn't stop with weed. Listen, you think Bloomberg was the only one that was like, you know what? These sugary drinks really are dangerous. And that's why these people who want this universal health care are not paying attention. Because if the government is paying for your health care, then the government then has a vested interest in controlling your health, your wellness, not just your medicine, but everything that leads up to that. So when they will then be able to say, oh, you're consuming too much sugar. They will then be able to say, and quite frankly, somebody like Joe Biden, he's not going to wait for universal health care to do that. Because I see it already. I'm looking at the arguments. Look at the arguments that they're making regarding the dangers of cigarettes and menthol. Look at the arguments. You think that can't be made of sugary drinks? Soda? Sweets? Like, you don't think it's coming. We're dealing with people who think that they are they think they're deities. And that they can tell you, they can control every aspect of your life. And if you don't stand up and stop them, they will control every aspect of your life. How do you stop them? One, Stop voting for these pieces of garbage. Stop. Like, realize that the Republicans and the Democrats are both trying to control your lives, and neither of them have demonstrated any competence in doing such. Also, pay attention. Because if people call out, because now there is a public comment section. There's a public comment section with this regulation they're proposing. And people, we need to flood. Like we need to flood these public comment sections so badly that he thinks that we're going to impeach him without Congress. Like that's how badly, like we need to have so many, we need to have, listen, like if he thinks that 80 million votes that he got is something, we need so many public comments telling them to mind their fucking business that they realize, you know what, let's leave this alone. Let's just back up and, hey, let's pass a law over here. That's what we need to do. So I'm not gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna and like I said, if you agree with me, don't just give me a thumbs up. Share the shit out of this. Share the shit out of this because everybody needs to be. I'm gonna be doing follow-up videos when the public comment section is open. We need to. We need, like, you know, when some movie comes out and then Snyderverse, like we need to make what the Snyder fans did to get the Snyder cut out. We need to make that look like child's play, and we can do it. So I'm gonna be coming back with more information about this. But listen, like we cannot just sit back and allow them to keep interfering with our lives because it's never going to stop unless we stop it. Thank you for checking out this episode. Like I said, give me the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you can find out what's coming up next, when more information on this, and I'm going to be including the links for the public, the links, the time, the let everybody know exactly how long we have to comment. I'll be actually, in fact, I'm going to be providing some of the comments that are being, provided, and like we've got to make sure we bombard them. So thank you for checking out this episode of Escaping the Echo Chamber, and I'll see you next time.